Hey everybody, what is going on? It's your favorite YouTuber, Nick Savoy. Today we are going to be doing a 10-team PPR Yahoo mock draft. These mock drafts take a while. I'm going to do a 10-team. Sometimes the draft, people take 45 seconds to make a pick, so I have a list of topics that we're going to talk about that is going to stay relevant. And as I have some free time, I'm going to rattle off some of them. I'm picking third overall, so my ideal pick, if I got lucky, would be Bell or Gurley. Maybe if somebody took Zeke or Antonio Brown first, if they were on crack. However, chances are Gurley and Bell are going to go first or second, or then Bell first and then Gurley second. And then I'm going to have a choice between Antonio Brown, Ezekiel Elliott, and David Johnson. So we're going to have to take a second and talk about that. So I haven't. Whoa. What is going on? Sorry about this, guys. Hang tight with me for a second. Okay. So I haven't got a chance to make a video in a while. There has been some recent news that's happened. Most notably, CJ Anderson left the Broncos and went to the Panthers. So we can just take a second and talk about that. I think it hurts Christian McCaffrey's value. However, an argument can be made that Jonathan Stewart left and CJ Anderson came in to take his place. However, Jonathan Stewart was old. He was mediocre. So to be honest, I think that this is I don't think that this is just going to be like last year where CJ Anderson just replaces Jonathan Stewart. I think that this is going to be a downgrade for Christian McCaffrey. In my opinion, I put Christian McCaffrey in the, I'd say maybe like LaShawn McCoy, Devontae Freeman, then Christian McCaffrey. I think after Devontae's last year, maybe an argument can be made, but Christian McCaffrey is like the epitome of a high-end running back too. So why don't we take a second as time goes by and we can just take a peek where he goes in the draft. So I want to ask you guys to leave a couple comments on some of the following topics. What do you think is going to happen in the Packers backfield? There's Ty Montgomery, Aaron Jones, and Jamal Williams. I recently read an article that Jamal Williams is going to take over. Obviously, that's just a prediction, and we're going to know closer to training camp, and that's definitely going to affect their draft position. But historically, Packers running backs have done very well in fantasy. So maybe you could go with a strategy where, like, maybe you take a bell cow first or second, and then maybe you take two wide receivers, maybe try to get two wide receiver ones. Then you have a running back one, you have a decent wide receiver one, and then maybe a low-end wide receiver one, maybe like Thielen, Doug Baldwin, maybe Stephon Diggs. He's more of a wide receiver too, though, but he's borderline. And then maybe you get like Aaron Jones or Jamal Williams as your running back two. That wouldn't be bad. I mean, personally, I like to have a running back one as a running back two, but it could be a strategy that you could implement. So I have a little bit of time, so why don't we take a second and talk about some of the topics. Okay, so we already talked about McCaffrey and CJ Anderson. I want to take a second and talk about Will Fuller. And I am going to put down where he's going in the draft. I think maybe he could be a player to target. And when Deshaun Watson was healthy last year, Will Fuller, he did really well. I think he was getting like 15 or 20 fantasy points a game. So, I mean, like if you're telling me that you can do that you can just do that and get him really late, he's a bargain. Okay, Antonio Brown, David Johnson, Ezekiel Elliott. David, I think it really comes down to David Johnson or Zeke. I think that Zeke is just so safe. They're just going to feed him. I don't think that I'm going to pick Zeke and then look back and be like, oh, why did I pick Zeke? However, an argument can be made that David Johnson or Zeke, they're on the same level. David Johnson's going to catch more passes in PPR. So, okay, so we're going to have a while before my next turn. So why don't we take a second and talk about some players? Okay, Will Fuller, I'm going to see what round he's going in. Devin Funches is going pretty late, and he is a number one wide receiver on a team. So maybe you could snag him as your flex, and then as your flex, you have a number one wide receiver. This is a PPR draft. Pardon me, I should have said that earlier. And also with Doug Martin leaving the Buccaneers, Peyton Barber could get reps. However, I just remembered that they drafted a rookie running back. I'm actually not quite sure who that is. However, there's a chance that Peyton Barber and the rookie running back, they could just be in a committee. You know, the Bucs. You know what? There's Charles Sims there too. Let me scratch that. You know what? Let's just take that out. Screw the Bucs backfield. Okay. So Alshon Jeffrey played with a torn shoulder labrum last year. Why don't I take a second and maybe see? I'm going to take a second and see maybe if there's an update, because, for example, if Alshon Jeffrey didn't. Alshon Jeffrey's injured for the first half of the season, that drastically increases Nelson Aguilar's value. So I can take a peek at that or whatever. So we still have a couple more picks. Alshon Jeffrey has a torn labrum, so I talked about them. Packers backfield, if I had to guess, I'd say Aaron Jones because he did really well last year, but Jamal Williams is injured. Ty Montgomery has been the lead back the last 2 years, so he might get some brownie points because of that. But I'm not quite sure. I think we're just going to have to see, similar to training camp, as I said earlier. Okay, so I'm up in a couple picks. I'm hoping that I can get Dalvin Cook here, but I have a feeling that he's going to be gone. Right now, there's a big drop-off between Dalvin Cook and Devontae Freeman. I'd say that Dalvin Cook is a running back one, and if I can get a running back one, there he goes. What I was about to say is that I like having a running back one as my running back two. I think that it really strengthens me. Okay, so it's between Keenan Allen, AJ Green, and Devontae Freeman or LaShawn McCoy. Mike Evans is there. You know what? LaShawn McCoy is still going to be around. You know what? Mike Evans, dude. What am I thinking? Mike Evans in my opinion, Mike Evans is above AJ Green and Keenan Allen. Devontae Freeman and LaShawn McCoy will be around, so I think that I just made a really good pick. One reason why I do mock drafts is that it allows me to get practice, and it allows me to see like what round people are generally going in. You know what I mean? So, okay. My turn is next. Usually, one thing that I make sure that I do is I make sure that I get at least 2 workhorses in the first 3 rounds. I've had a lot of experience where, like, late in the season, like, one running back has a good week, and then they're in the waiver wire, and you scrap for running backs. Just take 2 good bell cows in the first 3 rounds, and be done with it. I'm going to take LaShawn McCoy over Devontae Freeman because they feed him. And Devontae Freeman had kind of a bad season last year. He really did. So I'm really happy that I was able to get LaShawn McCoy in the 3rd round. That's a good bargain. Write that down. Maybe mention that in a video. So leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think on some topics. You know, like, is there anything that you guys do to win your league? Is there any players that you're targeting? I've had a couple people comment on my videos and mention Joe Mixon as a breakout player. Let me see. Where is his ADP? Where is he even going? He could be You know what you honestly could do? You could get a bell cow and 2 like wide receiver ones, and then maybe you could even get Joe Mixon, who could be a high-end wide, like a Christian McCaffrey level. Let me see. Where is he going? Is he gone already? All right, come on, Yahoo. Okay. Kenyon Drake is ahead of Christian McCaffrey. I don't necessarily agree with that because they brought in Frank Gore. Okay, so Joe Mixon, he's going too low right here. In my opinion, I would take Christian McCaffrey, Kenyon Drake, or Joe Mixon. You know what? I would have it McCaffrey, Kenyon Drake, and then Joe Mixon. The reason why I like Kenyon Drake is because he's kind of like a poor man's Le'Veon Bell, the way they use him, and I mean that in a good way. However, if it came down to Kenyon Drake or Joe Mixon, I don't think you can go wrong with either. So usually what I try to do is I make sure and I take two bell cows in the first 3 rounds. Then I fill in my wide receiver, and my flex. And then depending what tight ends are available, if there's an elite tight end, I take a tight end, but I do like getting a third running back, and I make sure that my third running back is a number one running back on a team, not a running back one, but a number one running back on a team, because that's a nice little insurance policy. I like taking running backs, and then you don't have to worry about it. I'm sure, as you guys have seen later in the season, there's a trend where like there's breakout wide receivers, especially in PPR, that get targets. If you work the waiver wire, you can get a wide receiver that you can start. Obviously, it's better to draft like a wide receiver 2 and have that. But I think that running backs are more important than wide receivers in terms of supply. I think there's really only 12. I think there's really only about 16 number one running backs. So if you're in a 10-team league and if you're able to get 3 of those, then you have a huge advantage over the rest of your team. So at this point, I have Zeke, I have LaShawn McCoy, and I have Mike Evans. And to be honest, I wish that this was my season. Because this draft could not be going any better. So it looks like there's been – okay, so why don't we take a look, maybe see if Stephon Diggs is around. Maybe I doubt that there's a wide receiver 1 around in the 4th round. But I'm going to see maybe like Fitzgerald. Okay, sweet. Alshon Jeffrey or Larry Fitzgerald. Oh, this says Alshon Jeffrey's injury. You know what? Honestly, take Larry Fitzgerald. He's really consistent, and I can't complain. What is his injury? It says okay. It has a medical next to Alshon Jeffrey, so that does mean that he is injured. For some reason, it's not letting me click. Doesn't he have a profile? Isn't that how it works? Is anybody talking in the no, nobody's talking in the Smack Talk section. Move myself over here. Okay, so Alshon Jeffrey is injured. I do want to take a peek at that to see what's going on. Okay. So I think there's a chance that we may have covered all my topics. There might be one more. Okay, Robbie Anderson. So Robbie Anderson is going, or you know what? One moment, guys. My laptop's going to die. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I hate being unprofessional. But I do want to get you guys this video. Okay. So Robbie Anderson, he had a pretty decent end of the year last year. He was a pretty strong wide receiver 3. Okay, it's my turn to draft. All right. So right here, I want to get a flex. And typically wide receivers are good. I'm going to take T.Y. Hilton right here because Andrew Luck is healthy again. You know what? Andrew Luck might be healthy. Let me rephrase that. But I am going to, or you know what? Yeah, I'll take T.Y. Hilton. Okay. Andrew Luck's healthy again. T.Y. Hilton is a target hog. I'll take him. Okay, so gosh, what was I talking? Oh, Robbie Anderson. Okay, so Robbie Anderson got a felony back in January. There's a chance that he may be suspended. However, Robbie, let me see where he's going. Type this up. I want to make a list of where these players are going, and then we can see, like, is there a chance that, we can get a good wide receiver late? Because when you make strategic decisions, that's how you win your league. I actually won a 12-team PPR league last year, and it was because I worked the waiver wire. I had a good draft. I did mock drafts before. One tip that I have to having a good draft is to print out like a physical piece of paper in very big font from Microsoft Word, some players that you're targeting, and maybe even some rankings in your opinion, some players to avoid, and then have them with you. Do your draft in a quiet room. Last year, my sister wanted me to go like ride with her to go get carry out during my draft. And she was like, well, you can just do your draft on your phone. but I knew that I would miss out on a good pick. So I said, no, I'm doing my draft in a quiet room, in a focused environment, because a draft can literally make or break your season. A couple years ago, I had a bad draft, and that was it. Like, the rest of my season sucks. And everybody knows that during football season, the quality of life for fantasy passioners such as me, the quality of life drastically increases. So, okay, why don't we take a look and see what tight ends are around? Okay, maybe see if I can get one in this tier. I don't like Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen is one player that I'm gonna avoid this year. Leave a comment and let me know if you guys agree with that. I'm gonna try to get. God, I would love to get Mark Ingram as my third running back. Oh, I would love to get Mark Ingram as my third running back. I hope he's around. Jay Ajayi is an interesting. Oh, yep, there goes Mark Ingram. God, I wish. I'm probably just gonna take a safety running back once. Oh, here's Aaron Jones down here, but that's a little bit of a risk because he could be in a committee. Aaron Jones is ranked low. There goes Ajayi. I was hoping to get Ajayi. Okay, Dion Lewis, it's a weak third running back. Tevin Coleman's okay. Honestly, like if Lamar Miller goes, I'm probably going to take a different position and just maybe get an elite tight end. I could probably get like an elite quarterback right here. Let me see what quarterbacks are around. Maybe like Carson Wentz. Is he still on? No. Okay. Drew Brees. I could probably get like an elite quarterback right here. But to be honest, these picks are so valuable that I'm going to fill in my skill players. And then like at the end, let's see. Oh, okay. Guys, I really want you to listen to what I'm about to say, okay? Oh, sorry. Fantasy. I love fantasy. Okay. Oh, Brandon Cooks is around. What running backs? Brandon Cooks is on a straight island right now. There's no way that I'm not taking Brandon Cooks right here. Okay, good. I got Brandon Cooks as my fourth wide receiver. I am a happy camper because let's just say if my wide receiver 2 and if my flex doesn't work out, boom, I got Brandon fucking Cooks as my fourth wide receiver. Okay, so right now it's time to pick a running back. I'm hoping that Lamar Miller is still around. If not, I can snag Tevin Coleman or maybe an elite tight end, and maybe I can take a third wide receiver. Let me see. Is there any like deep? Yeah, these are all garbage. Tight ends are around. Okay, so right now I have a choice between taking an elite tight end or a third running back. You know what? Love me some Kyle Rudolph or Delaney Walker. Gosh, what do I do? Kyle Rudolph. Okay. So this is a perfect example of draft strategy. So I want to show you guys something. So right here, I do not have a third running back yet. Lamar Miller is around. He's a number 1 running back on a team. He would be a good pick. However, if you go down, Carlos Hyde. Now, I'm not saying that Carlos Hyde is a number 1 running back, but he could be a good third running back. Like in PPR, he catches passes out of the backfield. I'm not sure how they're going to use him. Chris Thompson, I'm happy that I took an elite tight end. And to be honest, I think that it's more important to take a tight end than a third running back because you start a tight end, they bring you points every week. They make or break how you do, whether you win, whether you make the playoffs. They are the breadwinner. So it's more important in my opinion. Oh, God, the Jaguars defense is gone. Where did they go? Gosh. Did somebody snag them? Where did what? Somebody took Aaron Rodgers in the second round. Jeez, what are you on crack? Where did the Jaguars defense go? I have a decision to make. If there's an elite defense, I might take it, or I might just take a third running back. I've always had a man crush on the Baltimore Ravens defense because historically they're like Denver. Or is it? I'm sorry, guys. I'm struggling right now. Oh, the Jaguars defense is still on the board. Come on. God. I want to take a second and talk about the Jaguars defense. The Jaguars defense was bringing me points out the ass last year. It was like having a second quarterback on your team. They would bring in like 20 points. I want to target the Jaguars defense, and I do. I want the Jaguars defense, and I want Greg Zuerlein. They're superstars. Like I said, they bring in points. I'm hoping that the Jaguars defense is going to be around so I can snag them. Oh, they're gone. See ya. That's too bad. I'm all hyped up. I'm talking to you guys like an idiot, and then they just get taken. I'm like a kid. I'm like a dog where, like, you take the leash out of the drawer, it thinks it's going out, it gets all excited, wagging its tail, and then it just gets taken away. Let me see, are there any other? Okay, so word on the street is that Deshaun Watson's recovery is going really well. He's going ahead of schedule. And I think I just want to take a second and give you guys an update. Earlier, I mentioned some. Oh, okay. Earlier, I was getting all excited and I was about to freak out on you guys, and then it's my draft turn came around. In fact, it's actually my draft turn right now. Lamar Miller's still around. That would be a great pick right now. Maybe I can get Lamar Miller and then maybe like the Ravens defense. Let me see what wide receivers are on the board, see if there's any bargains like Devin Funches. Pierre Garçon is like a kind of like a mini Devin Funches. Okay, I'll take Lamar Miller. Unless, of course, I can take an elite defense. You know what? Minnesota's on an island right here. No, never mind. Can just get Ravens. Lamar Miller's on an island. He's a number one running back. I'm hoping – okay, good, he's still around. All right, I'm going to take Lamar Miller. Okay, so while I have a little bit of a break, I saw a Facebook post about how Patrick Mahomes on the Chiefs is throwing interceptions on almost every single drill. So I wanted to tell you guys that maybe like you want to take – like if you have a choice between like Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, maybe lean Alex Smith, some other type of quarterback. I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of that. Okay, Minnesota's gone. I'm going to rock with Denver. Is Greg Zuerlein still around? Yeah, he is. Could take Greg Zuerlein. Might take a fifth wide receiver here. I already have 4 wide receivers. What quarterbacks? Jamie. Oh, Kirk Cousins is still around? Kirk Cousins. Yeah, then I can get Denver. God. Kirk Cousins or Denver. So much depth at Matt Ryan. Okay. Nah, you know what? Give me some Kirk Cousins. An argument can be made that there's really not that much of a gap between Kirk Cousins and Matt Ryan, but honestly, give me some Kirk Cousins. I have an elite quarterback. He's a draft bargain this late. What pick is this? 84? Wow. I will take Kirk Cousins at 84 any day of the week and be a happy freaking camper. Okay. I have 4 wide receivers. I have 3 running backs. I have a tight end. Chances are I'm going to use my next 2 picks on. I'm hoping to get Denver, but they're probably not going to be around. Maybe Baltimore, and I want to snag Greg Zuerlein. Oh, Greg Zuerlein's gone. Oh, there goes Baltimore too. Fuck. Okay. See, this is a perfect example, guys, of strategy. You can't have everybody. You have to use like for example, like I chose a tight end. I could have gotten Jacksonville instead. Maybe I just think that everybody needs to have a strategy and they need to do mock drafts to see where are players going. If you have a man crush on a player, where is it going? And for that reason, like for example, maybe when it's time to fill in your tight end, maybe you take a defense that you have or a kicker that you have a man crush on, and then maybe you work the waiver wire and just get a different non-elite tight end later. There's usually at least one breakout tight end. Oh, Baltimore's still around. I'm sorry, guys. I had some caffeine. I thought that Baltimore was off the board, but really it's just in my quee. why don't we take a second and talk about kicker rankings? In my opinion, Greg Zuerlein is in his own tier. And then the next tier goes Justin Tucker, Steven Gostkowski on the Patriots, and Jake Elliott and Matt Bryant on the Falcons. Jake Elliott is a very underrated kicker. The Eagles are going to have Wentz back. They have a pop-in offense. The Eagles' offense is it's kind of like a little bit of like a poor man's Los Angeles Rams offense. It's a bumping offense. And to be honest, Greg Zuerlein, Jake Elliott would be a really good kicker to have. I'm going to quee him. Where is he? Oh, wow, he's going late. He could be a bargain. Why is he going so late? That's stupid. If I had a choice between Matt Bryant and Jake Elliott, I would probably choose Matt Bryant. My heart is telling me Jake Elliott. So, and I also want to mention Matt Prater. So I actually live in Detroit. I'm not a Lions fan because they've beat me down so many times that I'm at a point where I don't care anymore. After a team lets you down for 20 years in a row, you have to just say fuck it and fuck you. But one thing I've noticed is that the Lions, what they do is they start a drive, they get a really good drive together, and then they don't score and they kick a field goal. So the point I'm trying to make is that Matt Prater could be like a nice, like top 5 kicker that you could snag late. Like I said, guys, it's all about draft strategy. It really is. Okay, so it's about to be my turn. Why don't I take a peek? Okay, here's Will Fuller. Nelson Aguilar, maybe Nelson Aguilar will fall to me as a 5th wide receiver. I think I'm going to fill in my defense and my kicker right now, just because they start and it's late in the draft. So I'm gonna get the Baltimore defense. Or hold on, let me see. Are there any kickers? Okay. You know what? These two will be around. In the Baltimore defense, in my opinion, are in their own lane. Snag the Baltimore defense. I honestly, guys, I wish that I had a time machine and I wish that this was my draft because I'm really happy with my team right now. I'd say that regardless of what draft position you get, I honestly think that you can make the best of any situation. Honestly, I might not get a kicker right here, to be honest, because I'm seeing a couple late ones like I reconsidered, and I might see if I can maybe get like a 5th wide receiver. Sammy Watkins has upside out the ass crack. Let's see what running backs. Is Carlos Hyde around? Aaron Jones. I have 4 wide receivers. Nope. Tight ends are garbage. Yeah, Prater. Jake Elliott or Jake Elliott. Actually, fuck it, Matt Prater. Take Matt Prater. I usually have a fantasy rule that's no Lions, but he's always good. And like I said, the Lions, they always start a drive and they get moving and then boom, they blow their load. Okay. Okay, so we have a while for my next turn. Okay. So I want to talk about Lamar Jackson. Excuse me. Lamar Jackson is going undrafted, and he has amazing upside. He could be like a junior. He could be like a junior, like Deshaun Watson, if he pops off. I'm not guaranteeing that he does, but there's a chance. Austin Seferian-Jenkins had amazing talent last year, and he went to the Jaguars. He might not be a bad idea, like a last round pick. Maybe you take maybe you get a stud tight end, and then if that tight end doesn't work out, then maybe you have a nice little backup with upside. Honestly, like I'm never afraid to take 2 of one position if it's an option, because fantasy, I look at my players as equity. Let's just say there's a chance that I have a weak position. If I have 2 elite defenses or 2 elite kickers or 2 elite quarterbacks, I can trade that quarterback as equity to strengthen some of my other positions. I'm also a firm believer in starting in week 2 and 3, taking a piece of paper and writing down your playoff matchups. One good thing about Yahoo is that they have a feature where you can look at a wide receiver or not any position, and you can look at the defense that they're playing, and it says how that defense ranks in terms of giving fantasy points up to that position. So that could be a useful factor. But usually week 1, 2, 3, I take a piece of paper, I write out who my players are playing in week 14, 15, and 16. Like, for example, maybe like if my flex plays like Denver, like the Jaguars, teams that are historically good against like the run or the wide receiver, I can consider trading. Another firm belief that I have is to just hammer trades, because if you propose a trade and you get turned down, you have nothing to lose and you have everything to gain in terms of improving your team. So that's another thing. I think last year I wanted to unload a player and I tried 40 trades. I was just just proposing trades in my team. So that's another thing that you can do, but that's a way that I strengthen my playoff roster. Okay, so it's about to be my turn. Right now I have 3 running backs. I have 4 wide receivers. I have a tight end. I have a quarterback. I have a defense and a kicker. So right now I'm probably going to build depth. I'm going to take Marquise Goodwin right here. Oh no, he's gone. No, I'm not. Okay. Let's see what running backs are on the board. I hate how Yahoo only gives you 30 seconds. It's like, give me a second to breathe, bro. Ooh, Mohamed Sanu. Crap. Take Nelson Agholor. Okay. I have a man crush on Nelson Agholor. He was getting 10 or 11 targets pretty consistently. However, an argument can be made that, like, see Mohamed Sanu down here. I feel like Nelson Agholor and Mohamed Sanu, they really are the same players. Not the same players, but the same level, so I probably could have reached. Marquise Lee is the number 1 wide receiver in his offense, and he's going extremely late. That could be like a draft bargain, like maybe if you want like a 4th wide receiver and then you want to go heavy on other positions. Okay, it's my turn. Honestly, guys, this is stupid, but I get anxiety. I don't really feel good. After I took Matt Prater, I got a bad feeling in my stomach about it. So I'm going to take Jake Elliott. I'm going to draft 2 kickers. Fuck it. They start every week. Now I have options. Where is Austin? Okay, Austin Seferian-Jenkins is down here. 3 running backs. I might take a second quarterback too. Nah, these are all garbage. I'll probably just build depth at this point. Cousins is good. Rudolph is good. My wide receivers are fine. My running backs are Straits McGee. I have a good defense. Okay, I have 2 picks left. I'm gonna take Marquise Lee for one of them, because the fact that I can never complain about getting the number 1 wide receiver. However, one thing I do need to keep in mind is right now I do have 5 wide receivers. You know what? Let me see if any of the Packers running backs are around right now. Okay, Jamal Williams. Okay, so this is a perfect example of having a strategy and taking upside. These are really, I have all my positions filled. Maybe like I take an upside player and they pop off, and then I have a flex. I have equity to trade for a weaker position later. So right now I'm going to target Marquise Lee, with him being the number 1 wide receiver. I'm also going to target Jamal Williams. However, Emmanuel Sanders is definitely an option going this late. He's a bargain because he's the number 2 wide receiver in the Denver offense. And keep in mind that Denver also got Case Keenum, so that's an upgrade. So Emmanuel Sanders went just now as I was talking about him, Jinx. So he's not around. However, I have 6 picks until my turn. I'm thinking, let me see what quarterbacks are around too. Okay, garbage, trash, take out the trash. You can, honestly though, guys, you can waiver wire a quarterback too, like any day. Like, remember Blake Bortles at the end of the year last year? Like Tyrod Taylor on the Browns isn't going to get drafted, and he uses his legs to get a lot of yards. Okay. All these tight ends are garbage. I'm not taking a tight end. I'm set on kicker, defense. I think it really comes down to running back and wide receiver right now with my last 2 picks. God, you want to know what I should do right now? I should just take 2 Green Bay running backs, and then if one of them hits, then I have a good flex. I'm stacked on wide receiver. I could give up Marquise Lee since I already have Nelson Aguilar. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the 2 Green Bay running backs. They're just so good. Green Bay running backs, they're stacked. And if Jamal Williams or Ty Montgomery, if they're good, then boom, I have equity. That's what I'm honestly gonna do. Come on, don't get chosen. So please, guys, take a second to leave a comment. Let me know, like, what are your strategies to win your league? What players are you targeting, etc. Let me know what you think. If you don't agree with anything, let me know. I'm usually a pretty good sport about it. So I would like to know what your guys' thoughts. Do you agree with anything? What players are you targeting? I really like it when you guys participate. Like I said, I think one of the biggest keys to the season is having a mock draft. So I have a couple seconds, so I'm going to give you guys a couple extra tips on how to win your league. And I also do have a video about how to win your league. There's an app on the iPhone called SleeperBot, and you can set it up if you're smart. You can set it up where you get suspension and injury updates right away. So, like, I want to tell you guys a story. 3 seasons ago, in the last 4 games, Doug Martin got suspended for using PEDs. I got a notification right to my phone, and Jacquizz Rodgers was a free agent. You didn't even need to use a waiver claim. I got a notification to my phone that says Doug Martin's out for the last 4 games. I opened my phone. I beat everybody to my team, and I picked up Jacquizz Rodgers. So it is a really nice safety way. I think you guys should install SleeperBot and turn the notifications on. Also, another thing that I want to mention, and to be honest, I haven't looked to see. I'm going to Google this after in a second. There's a thing. It's called a pick predictor. I've heard of it in some drafts. I'm going to take Ty Montgomery. Or, hold on, let me shop around before I just take Ty Montgomery. Number 1 wide receiver. God, 30 seconds is not enough. Look at my balls, Yahoo. Honestly, dude, gosh. Number 1 wide receiver or Ty Montgomery? All right, you know what? I'll just take a number 1 wide receiver. I'll take Marquise Lee. Come on. I said I was going to take Ty Montgomery, but I changed my mind. I drink some caffeine right now. I get anxiety when I drink caffeine. Okay, so what was I talking about? Okay, pick predictor. Some drafts have pick predictor, and what a pick predictor is it's where you it's where there's like a percentage that you, like, next to the player, it says this percentage that there's this percent chance that this player will be taken next round. So, like, for example, if you have a man crush on a player, but there's only a 15% chance that you're going to get taken, if you use the pick predictor, you could maybe get a better, like, wide receiver, running back, tight end, etc., and then you could get your man crush player next. So I think it's worth looking into. A draft can make or break your season, and if you lay out a strategy, do mock drafts, print out players that you're going to target, know the trends of the drafts, etc., get players that you want to avoid, lay out a draft strategy, you're going to have a good draft. You're going to have a ginormous advantage over other players. This is obvious, but I want to encourage everybody to work the waiver wire, and that includes your bench players. For example, if you have a second quarterback that's mediocre, but there's a better quarterback on the waiver wire, improve your bench, even if you're starting a stud quarterback. It's always a good practice. And I have a desk job. I have a white-collar desk job. So I listen to podcasts throughout the season, and for example, like a couple last season, Matthew Berry from ESPN's Fantasy Focus podcast, he started talking about Cooper Kupp 3 or 4 weeks ahead of time, and I stayed up to date on their podcast, and I picked him up, and he ended up having a really good playoffs as like a really good like flex. So, okay, so like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. If you don't agree, I'm a good sport. I'm open to all ears. Let me know what you guys think about how you win your league, what players you want to break out, what you think is going to happen with the Packers backfield. And I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. I have a video on how to win your league that I think will increase your chances of winning your league by 30 to 40% if you take a second and watch it. Thank you for watching my video, guys. I'm out. All hail fantasy. Football season's almost here. Football season equals sunshine equals happiness. Let me know what you guys think. Have a great week. Apply for that job. Make that sale. Ask out that girl. You only live once. Do it to it. Peace out, guys.